Why did I eat what I ate? I enjoyed it though. Getting ready to start to rain. About to stop get some gas. And I made a comment about slavery. Now you do not know much about slavery. And I meant that. The proof that you do not know much about slavery other than the misinformation that you've been given is this new organization that everyone's talking about, ADOS, American or African descendants of slavery. There's ever been more proof you don't know first thing about what slavery was and who it was on in this country is your association with ADOS, African American descendants of slavery. Funny how what you call black people, refer to yourselves as African Americans. It's just the latest of a string of adjectives to describe you over the last 100, 200 years. It's Negro, colored, black, African American, etc. None of them apply to nationality. We are the only people in North America that use two continents to describe origin. Oxymoron. Doesn't make sense. You don't hear European American. You don't. Italians are from Italy. French people are from France. Chinese people from China. Chinese people are not Chinese. That's an adjective as well, but that's another video. And Mandarin. That's the nationality. African American. I'm not African. Sorry, you know, I'm not. So no, I'm not learning Swahili, or Nigerian or any other stuff. I'm not from that. I had an uncle who was legendary in our family for going through our genealogy. Oh, he was. I didn't have the appreciation for it. I always appreciated that he did it, and he always give me these printouts. This is back when the computer printouts were black and white, and really old-fashioned digital with the green screens. None of you remember unless you're my age or around my age or older. And he would do these. He find out. He interview and put together and make this whole big printout and give it to anybody who was interested. Man, I wish I had that still. But I took dubious notes on laptops and stuff like that, and I still have that information. I am eternally grateful for Uncle Hal for the work he did on our genealogy. And through his efforts, what I discovered was that we could not trace any family members ever to an African name or an African origin. Facts. Mother's side or father's side. Never happened. Trace it back to a geographic location in America, but nothing outside of America. And that falls in line with the fact that where are the records of all of these slave ships? What were the names of them? That transported these millions of people from Africa to here. Don't worry. I'll wait. Doesn't exist. A small percentage of what you would call slaves came from Africa. A very small percentage made it to North America. What Christopher Columbus, who himself was what you would call black, that is definitely another video. You cannot handle that because you have studied his story. And what you don't realize about his story is that in most cases, his story took our story and made it his story. My gosh, Mozart, black, what you call black, I don't call black. Beethoven, black, what you call black, I don't call black. Facts. And you live in an age where you can find this. This is not some crazy secret. It's just not. What is he flashing me for? Okay. The road rage is real in Atlanta. Facts. Christopher Columbus. It's not white. My gosh. It wasn't. Sorry to disappoint you. You know. Well, you disappointed. Wouldn't you be proud? I'm going to get back to adults. Wouldn't you be proud that Christopher Columbus was black? No, I would not. Because everything that I've researched about Christopher Columbus show me wasn't really a good guy. More of a spy than anything. Discovered people that were already here who look like you. Not my friend. No. Not anybody I want to be associated with. Beethoven, black. Mozart, black. Get over it. His story took our story and made it his story. And sold it to you, repackaged it as your story. And you ate it. Because it was the only thing available at the time to eat. I get gas. But I'm going to stop and talk to y'all for a little bit. Before I get gas. Then I'm going to settle in. Get ready for work tomorrow morning. Everything you think you know is wrong. Now they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. What is a video worth? A video is a series of pictures. Suggestion: become a lover of art, old art. Okay? Because art will tell you the story. Before these faces were whitewashed, and this is nothing against white people. This is not a white versus black thing. This is a lie versus fact thing. That's all this is. It's about what's that famous line in that Ray Charles movie? Scratch a lie, find the truth. Just gotta scratch the lies. Scratch, 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 like a scratch off. Find the winning number underneath the little gray, whatever that is they put over the scratch off ticket. Listen, Christopher Columbus knew who was here already. Okay? He knew. He knew. He knew. Okay? Because people who look like you and I are from all continents. You kidding me? We're not geographically secluded to Africa, which itself wasn't called Africa by the people who lived there. These are names given to it by colonizers, right? You gotta stop letting the people who control you or used to control you, because their current state of control is an illusion. It's not. Black, white ain't the enemy. The enemy comes in all shades. That is going to be another video. All right? This is not a black versus white thing anymore. That is a distraction, a divide and conquer distraction to keep us fighting without really knowing the face of the real enemy. And the face of the real enemy plays both sides and has many faces in many shades of color, and they work together. My gosh. ADOS, African American descendants of slavery. Y'all pushing for that check. We want reparations, right? We want reparations. And if you don't want reparations, there's a mentor. Well, I call him a mentor because I listen to a lot of what he says. I agree with a lot of it, and some of it I don't. Says, well, if you don't want your reparations, then sign your name on the contract saying that I can have yours. What I would ask you is how much money is worth what you know to be done to the people who are our elders or who came before us? How much money is that worth? Can you put a dollar figure on that? On a spiritual level, my soul doesn't feel good about that. You know, it just doesn't. Having said that, what what I am inclined to pursue is what was apparently promised that was never delivered. That makes more sense to me. 40 acres and a mule. All right? I take the 40 acres. Okay? I take the 40 acres. You know? That I feel good about because that's something you promised that you didn't live up to. Okay? And everybody else got paid. The Japanese got paid in the war camps. All right? The Jews got paid. Okay? Everybody else got paid. We are being hammered. We are hammering ourselves. Hammering. I'm using that word because I don't want to say slaughtered, and I don't want to speak too negative. We're killing ourselves, and we're being killed. We're killing ourselves, and we're being killed. Okay, so you so-called African American descendants of slavery, you adults, right? You adults, and you want reparations. That's what you want, right? I tell you what I want more. I want abortions to stop, right? I want us to stop killing each other. And I can want that all day. I I I guess I can hope that you would start there. Abortions and us killing each other, right? Because the fact that we remain 13% of the population, for as long that outnumbers harboring on that percentage, it's through meticulous management, population management. Right? If that 13% is accurate, it was been about that for a minute. That's management. That's population management, population control. That's a problem, and it's a problem that you you adults or don't appear to care about what we're doing to ourselves. All right, you asking what you would call white people for your reparations. We want reparations. Some of y'all devoted the whole month to just talking about reparations. We're going to talk about reparations until you hear us. We want you asking. And the spirit is playing a song in my head as I'm talking about this. Tupac did an interview. And in the interview, he said that, if people start asking for things, you know, we are hungry, please give us food. We are hungry, please give us food. You've been singing that same song forever. We are hungry, please give us food. And then it's, yo, we hungry, we want food. Now it's, we're hungry, give us food now. And then that turns in a kick in the door, waving the 4-4, give me the food. I want it raw, cook it. This break the law. I mean, then you start talking about gangs and guns and things of that and that stuff. So there's a progression. There's a progression, and many of us are past the protest phase. We don't even think protest. Y'all can't wait for something to happen so y'all can go and make signs and plan where y'all gonna be and hold signs and go with your signs. We ain't doing that. This ain't the time for protest. It's just not. It's not the time for asking anybody shit. It's asking anybody. All the questions that you need answer to are within. That's another video. You didn't start meditating. All the information that you need is locked already inside the light codes of your DNA. Take that down. But you can go outside yourself and find information that will lead you right back to what's inside yourself. And escape the spell, the mind control, the paradigm. Chinese Americans, you don't hear that. You don't hear that. That's not a nationality. You don't hear that. What language did we speak 6, 7, 800, 900, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years ago, right here on this continent? What did we call this place? The answers are out there, and the answers are within you. And it was not Ados. Am I against Ados? No, I'm not against it. Listen, go. You know what I'm saying? Push that. Push that. If you get money, go ahead. Push that. It's monopoly money anyway. You kidding me? It's monopoly money. It's not backed by anything. It's not backed by any. It's not even backed by oil anymore. Have you looked at oil lately? The market has crashed. In case you noticed, what good is a bunch of American green currency if it's not backed by anything? Right? A suggestion: if you're gonna ask for reparations, make sure you get it in silver and gold. How much silver and gold are worth the lives of those that were lost? There's a reason why all these federal buildings are leased. That's a jewel, whether you realize it or not. I'm not here to teach you anything. It's leased. We are heirs of the estate. Hashtag look at a seer the Duke. And if you have a problem with how he talks about Moors and stuff like that, just ignore the word Moor. I'll tell you what, I'll give you one better. Every time you hear the word Moor, think Hebrew, think Egyptian, think all of that, because that's all inclusive to when he's utilizing the word Moor. For all of you who are offended by his usage of the word Moor, okay? Pay less attention to the word Moor and more attention to the historical facts that this urban archaeologist has gone through meticulously to dig up for you and present to you. Him and his queen. Do that. So, this whole thing, about reparations, I mean, I think it's a ploy to keep you off base, off premise. You're attacking a noble issue from the wrong premise, right? This commercial code based on maritime language draped in Latin might be a good time to study Latin, so you can understand the etymology of words and what words actually mean, particularly in the legal realm. There's a reason why these judges wear black robes. Who are they pretending to be? They pretend to be those who have abandoned their estate. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, even though I'm doing my best to speak plainly, then that's further proof that you need a seer the Duke more than you realize. And people like that. I tell you to start with him. He doesn't want that. notoriety. He doesn't care about that. He just cares about people, and he cares about all people. But listening to him for as long as I've been listening to him, I can hear his frustration, and knowing that the information is out there, and you guys keep doing more talking than you actually listening, right? So this 20 minutes or so that I'm talking to you is equated to 20 hours of research, facts. 20 hours of research, facts. Name the subject. I spent a lot of time studying it. Facts. Ask those who are really close to me. The few who actually are really close to me. Because I don't have time to be close to a lot of people with the amount of study time that I do. But there's a few of y'all, you know who you are, knows. When I ain't working, and even when I am working, I'm studying. Facts. Studying not necessarily to share with you. Studying to study it. So it's studied for the sake of studying. So when I tell you when I drop jewels, I give you a direction to go, and that's for you to do the research. I don't want you to believe anything that I say, all right? But you are confused. Defunding police, rioting, walking around breathing your own carbon dioxide. I mean, enough is enough. The restaurant I just left, and I'm not going to call them by name, they had this policy during this whole. I'm about to shift gears just for a sec. Where they had an employee whose only job was to stand at attention as soon as the waitress cleared the table, to go over to the table and meticulously scrub it down with antibacteria disinfectant. I mean, he had the gloves, the mask. I mean, he looked military, but he was in a white shirt, cleanest white shirt ever seen. I mean, and his whole job was just to go and disinfect tables. They got these little plastic sheets in between tables, plastic sheets connecting the booths, separating the booths. And he go down there and remove everything, spray the tables and seats, wipe them down meticulously. Then I'd sit down. Then I'd glance at the windowsill and see 6 months worth of grime in the windowsill. And I'm shaking my head. And now you understand why I'm shaking my head. That lasted for a couple of weeks. And then they went through this phase where, you get they serving your drinks, and I'm just talking about after restaurants open, but they can only serve, a certain percentage. They had to have certain tables closed. Serve you these to go cups, but if you wanted a refill, you had to take your own lid off and hold your straw, and they would take your cup, and fill it up and bring it back to you or whatever. Some would give you an entirely new. They all had this individual thing of trying to, to be extra extra clean. And it's been a couple of months now, and I just ate there. It's none of that. That guy's gone. That position's gone. The plastic's still up. The windowsills are still grimy. The tables are clean, but they're not being disinfected like that anymore. This shit is wearing off. I guess the spell is wearing off. And the girl grabbed my cup and took the whole cap and the straw, went, filled it up, and brought me my stuff back. Maybe the spell's wearing off. Maybe that's good news. I don't know. But I digress. I apologize. I'm not killing, I'm not putting a damper on adults. What I'm saying is, if I see you on the beach or about to drive on the beach with a two-wheel drive vehicle, I'm going to tell you, hey, that's probably not a good idea. That car's going to be stuck, and you're going to be digging sand for a long time, and you're going to have to get towed back out of that beach because you are not driving on the road. You're driving on the sand, and you're going to spin and make the hole deeper, and you're going to be stuck. And then you're going to stay stuck unless somebody pulls you out of there. And we're trying to pull you out of there. We're trying to pull you out of the sand. And that's how I see Black Lives Matter. That's how I see adults. That's how I see you rioting, and that's how I see you protesting. I see you just spinning tires in the sand. That's how I see abortion. That's how I see, you blacks that get mad at each other, over parking spaces or road rage or whatever it is y'all get mad about, or he's dating my girl now, or just whatever the stuff y'all kill each other. That's what I see. You spinning your egg on tires and sand when the road is not far from the sand. It's easier to actually drive on something solid. Okay, mm it's a good idea for you to do a little digging, to get a little quiet, to get out in nature a little bit. And trees will talk to you. Get out in the sun a little bit, get barefoot on the ground and ground a little bit. To eat a better diet. Now, I'm not the picture perfect of health. I still got bad habits. One in particular. That habit is coming to an end as well as this winter solstice draws nearer. Planning alignment, etc. That video's already been done. All right. So I mean, if you want to talk nationality, well, you have to dig for it in your own. You have to dig for it in your own tree. You have to shake those trees and see what falls out. Shake those trees, and if those trees lead you back to a Pacific country in Africa, go for it. That's you. That's who you are. But for many of you and most of you, it is not that, and you're the only ones calling yourselves African American. And there's a reason for that. Because the intent is to keep you confused about actually who you actually are. Everybody's talking about Masons and what Masons are doing and how you are the Masonic secret. Okay? That's a jewel. You are the Masonic secret. The secret to all of this is finding out who you actually are. And I could tell you who you actually are, but it means nothing, nothing until you discover it for yourself. I could tell you who you're not with certainty. You are not an adjective, you are a noun. And a noun describes a person, place, or thing. You are not an adjective. Black, colored, African American, adjectives. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Good day.